Day one of the 2022 NFL Draft is in the books. Now we're looking on to day two of the NFL Draft, and especially for the New York Giants, this is a very, very interesting one. The New York Giants came away in the first round with edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux and offensive tackle Evan Neal, thus pretty much eliminating those two positions of needs from the early rounds still left in the NFL Draft, like second and third. So they could probably readdress those positions in day three with some depth. But as far as day two and day three go, day two goes, round two and round three, you shouldn't expect another edge rusher or offensive lineman or offensive tackle coming out of the draft for the Giants. So I compiled a list of potential prospects the Giants can attack in day two. So let's get right into it. Now we're going to make this as quick as we can, guys, because I'm going to have to go live in a couple hours here. Got to set up that stream. Hopefully my connection is running all right and we can stream day two of the draft. But I'm very, very excited to have you guys follow along with us and me and Kush. So later on during the stream, during the draft, make sure you guys check out my channel to see if I'm streaming and follow along with us, see what the Giants do and look at our reactions as well. So that being said, let's get right into this. So in day two, round two, we are going to be looking at five positions right now of prospects in round two. And my first one, well, you guys will look at the list right here. My first one, this is not a big board by any stretch, okay? I don't know who I would prioritize at the moment, but this is just my list of what I came up with at the time. So Malik Willis, number one, like I said, not a big board, not a priority. He's not my number one guy in the big board right now for the Giants, but I'm looking at Malik Willis, okay? I'm intrigued by Malik Willis in round two. I've always said that, but I've always been turned off. You guys know, if you guys have been following me on my channel, I've always been turned off by quarterback in this draft. Whether it's Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, it didn't matter. I was turned off by any quarterbacks in this draft because I don't think any of them are going to be sustainable with this team or the state that they're at right now, the state that this franchise is in right now. And I didn't want this team to tie themselves to a quarterback in the first round or in the top 10 and potentially Joe Shane lose his job over it. You know what I'm saying? And have to wait another 4 years to get another franchise quarterback to see if they work out. But in the second round, there's a lot less risk and tons of reward when it comes to these developmental quarterbacks. This is right around where I see a lot of these quarterbacks going. Even Kenny Pickett, who was the only quarterback chosen in the first round in this draft, he's even a second round grade to me. You know, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, I guess you could stretch Desmond Ridder in there, Sam Howell, Matt Corral. These are second round guys, developmental quarterback with a lot, very, very high ceilings. Malik Willis is the best of those quarterbacks remaining and the best of the quarterbacks in this draft, in my opinion. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers made the wrong pick here. But Malik Willis is a guy I'm intrigued to because there's such less risk involved and such less commitment. You can pull a Philadelphia Eagles, draft a developmental quarterback like they did with Jalen Hurts and see if it works out. And if it does, you only spent a second round pick on your potential franchise quarterback a year earlier. So you have a chance to develop him before he's actually able to start. And so that would eventually mean the eventual, dismissal of Daniel Jones, which we probably as a fan base can probably agree it's going to be inevitable at this point, if that Daniel Jones might see his way out of here. So that being said, Malik Willis is my one of my guys in the second round to look at. Now my number two position, you guys see two names there, Nakobe Dean and Leo Chenal. Now Nakobe Dean is falling on drafts. He's undersized. A lot of people are saying that he's a little stiff, a little bit unathletic, especially for his size. And so that may be turning people off. Now, the inside linebacker position dropped in this draft. A lot of positions drop in every draft. In this one, it's the inside linebacker position. We just seen Quay Walker, who was the only middle linebacker drafted at the time to Green Bay. Then we saw Devin Lloyd drafted at like 29 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have to trade up to get him. So Dean drops to the second round. Leo Chenal is a very, very good option as well. I might prefer Leo Chenal. That may be just me. But those two options are there for the Giants at 36 if they wanted to get a Leo Chenal or they want to get a Nakobe Dean. I wouldn't be surprised if Leo Chenal winds up being drafted over Nakobe Dean. We see it in drafts all the time where top prospects, other players in that position wind up being drafted ahead. You look at Jahan Dotson drafted ahead of Traylon Burks, things like that. So that being said, I mean, not much to say about that. The Giants can use linebacker help. Not that it's a huge position of need. We have some depth there at linebacker, but, we can definitely use the talent there, and Leo Chenal might be one of the better players available at 36. Next, number 3 is probably the pick I would make if we are inevitably moving on from James Bradberry. Now, I don't know how realistic it's going to be to keep James Bradberry with the Giants, but if he finds a way out of here, which I assume so, we have to get another boundary corner to add along with Adoree Jackson, and to me, Andrew Booth is the guy. Andrew Booth is one of my favorite players in this draft, being he's so underrated. In my opinion, he's right up there with not right up there, he's just below the top 2 corners in this draft. Ahmad Gardner and Derek Stingley, they're on another level, they're on their own tier, they're 1A and 1B in their own right, but I think Andrew Booth is right there as well. You can put Trent McDuffie in there, he's that arguable number 3 guy. My number 3 guy is Andrew Booth, and he fell to the second round, so I would definitely be looking at him and be in strong consideration for Andrew Booth in the second round at 36. He's probably my number 1 guy so far. At number 4, we have George Pickens and Christian Watson. These are the only 2 wide receivers I'll probably be considering at 36. My favorite would probably be, I don't even know who my favorite would be. I like Christian Watson. I love the dynamic ability he adds to his game, right? 6'4", 4.3 speed on a 6'4". I mean, you're just looking at like another DK Metcalf, right? That is very, very intriguing to me to get in the second round. DK was also drafted in the second round. A lot of people, as far as measurables and his 40 time, compare him to DK. I would definitely be considering Christian Watson as well. You look at George Pickens, he's another guy that probably a lot of people have a first round grade on him. He's a great receiver. He's one of the better ones in this draft. And I wouldn't mind him at all either at 36 if the Giants were to go ahead and get him. So those are 2 guys at the wide receiver position I'd be strongly considering too. Being that Sterling Shepard probably won't be here for very long. Kadarius Toney is going to be our slot guy, and we could use somebody opposite Kenny Golladay at the wide position, right? So that being said, let's move on to number 5, Jalen Petrie. The safety. This is probably the only safety. Jaquan Brisker's okay. I think he's too much of a strong safety linebacker type guy. I think hard hitters. I want guys I can really patrol the field, right? And Jalen Petrie is my guy. And he's a guy that's a ball hawk. He's a guy that can track the ball easily. Pretty decent in coverage. Comes from Baylor. I believe Baylor's in that I forgot what division that they're in, but they pass the ball a lot, you know what I'm saying? So they're very, very, he's very used to the ball being in the air and him tracking the ball well. So, I like Jalen Petrie. I don't know where he ranks in my big board for day 2 guys or round 2 guys. Like I said, Andrew Booth is probably my number 1 guy. I may put Jalen Petrie as my number 2 guy. Could be, just because safety is such a big position of need that people don't really understand that what we need for the Giants. It is a big position of need. Xavier McKinney fills one need, but Julian Love will not keep me from drafting a safety in the second round. They just won't. So, and as far as track record goes, safeties drafted in the second round usually wind up to be pretty okay. So, that being said, those are my round 2 guys that I'm considering for the Giants at 36. We move on to our guys at 61, I want to say, and no, 67 and 81. I could be wrong about that, or is that 60? I think it's 67 and 81. I could be wrong about that. You guys got to correct me. 67 and 81. I want to say that's correct. The 2 third-round picks the New York Giants have. I don't have too much guys listed here just because I don't know what the Giants are going to do at 36. So it's very hard to try to see what the Giants are going to do at those two picks in the third round, because you don't know what they did at 36. So in the third round, we'll probably be looking at the tight end of your choice. A lot of people have their different tight ends of preference, right? You can really rank them any which way. I've seen a lot of tight ends kind of fluctuate in a lot of people's rankings. So you could probably pick the tight end of your choice. Trey McBride and Greg Dulcich has probably been 1A, 1B in a lot of people's eyes. So you may look there at tight end in round 3 with any of those two picks there, Trey McBride or Greg Dulcich. Dulcich is more of a, receiving tight end, not much of a blocker, so the Giants may be turned off to him just because the Giants don't currently have a blocking tight end on the roster. McBride may be the guy the Giants may take if they go tight end, because he's more of like an all-around tight end. Doesn't have the athleticism like Dulcich has, but has good hands, can block, can receive, can decently run routes. Not the most fastest or athletic tight ends out there, but definitely a guy who can do some damage in the running game and the passing game. You look at number 2, James Cook. Although he's not the workhorse runner that his brother is, Dalvin Cook in Minnesota, he is more of a receiving back over there, and I can understand why the Giants are really, infatuated with James Cook, because if you look at Brian Daboll's history with the Buffalo Bills and how they, ran that running game over there at Buffalo, look at the running backs they have right now. They have one of the smallest tandems in the NFL. Devin Singletary is 5'7", Zach Moss is 5'9", both are like just about 200 pounds, and that fits the same skill set as James Cook. They both don't really run in between the tackles. They run outside the tackles, bounce outside, has that breakaway speed, and they can catch the ball out the backfield. James Cook could be a Buffalo Bills running back. He fits the same type of skill set that they fit over there in Buffalo. I can definitely see Brian Daboll saying, hey, I would love to use James Cook in my offense, and I think he would fare very well. James Cook is not your 3-down running back. He's not a guy to pass protect extremely well, not a guy to get those tough yardage in between the tackles, but he's a guy that has breakaway speed, is very shifty, and catches the ball in the backfield, can run a mean wheel route, can do all of that. So I like James Cook. He's not my preferred running back in this draft. I'm more of a workhorse type of guy. Breece Hall is my guy. Kenneth Walker is a great option as well. James Cook, I'm as far as a fit for the Giants, is a great fit for the Giants. Just don't know how I feel about him as a running back and drafting him in the 3rd round. But the Giants can definitely go there. With the my third option, there's more linebackers here. Christian Harris, Chad Muma, Brandon Smith. Just adding on to more linebacker talent. The Giants don't necessarily have a major need at inside linebacker, but there's a lot of inside linebacker talent to go around, so you might as well just pick one up and see what you get in him, right? I don't think anybody really has, Blake Martinez coming, towards the end of his contract, and he's coming off an injury as well. You don't really know what you're going to get from him. The rest of the linebacker position is okay. We don't really have groundbreaking talent that's going to keep us away from drafting another inside linebacker and trying to see what we have in them as well. So any of those 3 guys there would be fine for me at in the third round, sorry. And then we look at the wide receiver position again, like a John Mechie, Jalen Tolbert, Velus Jones. Velus Jones, Jalen Tolbert, even Christian Watson are all 3 burners. We know that the Giants are currently shopping Darius Slayton right now, so he may find his way out of here, and they may want to rebound to get another burner on the outside, and they may want to fill that with one of those 3 guys there. So that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you guys think the Giants are going to be taking in day 2? I hope that all 3 guys taken are in my list here, so that would be pretty awesome. That I could probably predict what the Giants are going to do. But, they can go. I don't have any offensive linemen over here. They can go offensive line like Dylan Parham, Sean Ryan. They can go Ed Ingram. They can go in different positions there. So that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be on the lookout if I'll be live later on today. And I'll see you guys in the next video.